hotel and retail applications. Let's start with hotels. Hotels have reception areas. They also have individual meeting rooms and individual room controls as well. Let's focus on maybe the hotel reception, which could also be a reception in any building. A lot of the times it has a lot of footfall, a lot of people coming through. So using zone lighting to have more subdued lighting in other parts of it is a key part of that. And that could be a driver for a hotel. Also, to have some permanent lighting on at different times of the day at the front of the building is also key. Which leads us into requirements for retail. Again, retail, the shop floor would more than likely have the lights fully on all the time, so without an occupancy sensor, or at least without use of occupancy sensor during trading hours. General offices can be taken care of with normal occupancy sensors with timeouts of 20 minutes, let's say. But then the front of the shop, in terms of the display lighting, you may want to have those timed to be dimmed down after 6 p.m, let's say, that run through till 10 or 11 p.m. and then switch down further or switch off. You can all achieve this through the products that we're going to look at. Let's concentrate on the retail side and some of the drivers and some of the things that we have to consider and how we achieve those. In majority of retail applications, there's a need to be able to switch all of the lights off, for instance, once leaving the building, sometimes called a last man out switch or a master off switch and master on switch. This can be achieved by use of the LCM. We can do that with K&X products as well, but with a standalone LCM you can achieve that by having a linked master off switch, which basically means when the manager or the person in charge of the building leaves the building, they can switch off all of the lights not controlled by a PIR sensor and switch them off, making sure that everything is off on that. Any of the non-sales floor rooms, in terms of offices, could be controlled by normal PIRs, which will time out after 20 minutes or whatever the time is set once the room is unoccupied, so that's quite key. So with the products that we have, how can we achieve all of those things? Well, the LCM has built-in multiple program areas which you can control different times in different zones, so having different profiles for different times of the day. But you can also program in the different input switches, up to 4 input switches, which can be piggybacked in different areas. But also you can fit occupancy sensors so that on one profile you can zero the timeout down to 0, which would mean that the occupancy sensors would never switch off for the profile between 9 till 5, and the profile between 5 till 9 the next morning, you can have it as a standard profile to time out for 20 minutes. So it's all very, very simple. The app is available on the App Store to be downloaded, of course, onto an iPad, and it's free. So you can then do all your commissioning without having to access the ceiling, which is great, and it uses Bluetooth. So you can access one or all of the different LCMs that are in the building.